Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Demastered, the show where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm Chelsea,
Yes.
and I'm here with Wade as always. Nerds being nerds. And so, of course, we're going to be talking about a pretty fun show. It's a Marvel Disney show, and it's the latest one out, and that is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, absolutely. Have you ever read any of the comics, Chelsea?
No, I have not. Have you?
Like, two. Two
Okay.
issues. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like a special series. It wasn't like the actual like ongoing thing. But the good thing is that you don't need to know anything about them to watch the show.
For
Because
real.
it's a kids show. It just tells you everything you need to know, just naturally. So there we go.
And so, yeah, we watched the first 6 episodes because they released the first 6 episodes on Disney Plus, and it has been airing weekly on Disney Channel. And we just found out that the second half of the season, which is another 6 episodes, will be premiering the day after this episode airs. So that will be on Wednesday, March 8th.
That was some good timing there.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. But yes, so we're going to kind of dive in, talk about our thoughts with this show and what has been going on in these first 6 episodes.
All right. So initial reaction, like first episode. Did you love it by the end of the first episode?
Yes. 100% yes. I love that first episode. It was almost like watching a movie in a sense too. Like it was
Right?
only like 40 minutes or whatever, but it was just like everything you want in a fun, like teenage type, like superhero animation.
It was like all of just that whole story wrapped up right there. Boom. Let's move on from there. Like,
Yeah.
and something I like about the show so far is that most of the villains, they're not like people that you'd expect to see like in a Marvel show. There are a couple familiar faces, at least to me, but like these villains are like delisting, like not people that you've ever heard of. Although at first, like in that first episode, what was her name? Aftershock, I think that was
Yeah.
her name. At first I was like, oh my gosh, are they doing like the female Electro, because she's something special. She's a bad person.
Oh boy.
But no, it's a completely different thing. Although like her last name is Dillon, and like actual Electro, his name is Max Dillon. So maybe they're just playing with names and stuff like that, and just changing those things. I don't know, but like she turned out to be a great character. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, just, yeah, speaking in general of the villains are also, I love how cheesy they are. Their little catchphrases or little quips they have. It's dumb fun. Definitely laughed quite a few times throughout the show. It's just
for real,
a good time.
I loved Gravitas. In the roller rink episode.
Yes. Oh, man.
He's so serious, and I was like, oh, it's funny because his name is Gravitas and he controls gravity. I get it.
Yes. Well, I think we should start off like our main character, who is Moon Girl. Her name is Lunella Lafayette. You know, it's always fun to have a young girl who, you know, is like a genius. So she loves to create all kinds of crazy things and ends up creating a portal that opens up and a dinosaur comes out, a T-Rex.
And she's just like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I like fell in love with him. He's so adorable.
With Devil.
Yes,
I love
with
the
Devil.
way that they like. I love the way that they animate him, and like he talks, but like in like dinosaur screeches.
Yes.
And the way they use like all the emoticons and stuff like that to kind of like generalize what he's saying.
Yes.
And that's for everybody. Like the amount of like you don't ever want to like look away from the screen in this show,
No.
because they are constantly like referencing something or giving something to you like visually that tracks with what's happening. And that's like triply so with Devil. You always want to be watching Devil.
For real. Oh my gosh. And he's obsessed with hot dogs. That's just so funny. Every time he's just like, hot dog time? Ooh, I want one. He acts like such like a hyperactive dog. It's adorable. That's what, and actually there's a comparison in like that first or second episode where they're like, oh, it's like Clifford, the big red dog.
Oh my god, when she calls him Clifford.
Yes. Oh. But yep, no, Lunella becomes Moon Girl and teams up with Devil. And they are quite the duo for protecting, as in Marvel, universe, we're in New York, typically, but we're in the Lower East Side, the LES.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wonder if they're gonna have her team up with Miles at some point.
I know. I
That'd be
wonder
cool.
if we'll see more because I feel like it's a Marvel show that's not Marvel in your face with stuff. Like it's basically
Yeah, they
yeah.
don't. They haven't had like any cameos, like superhero cameos. There hasn't
Mhm.
really been any of that. Name dropped a few times.
Yeah. The last episode, the sixth episode, is where we got the most of it from.
Oh, that sixth episode is so freaking good. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to talk about that right now
Okay,
though.
we'll build up to that. But
Okay.
I think in general, talking about the show, I this show it brought me back to like my childhood and what I think of when I think of when what I determine is kind of like classic Disney Channel. Like it felt like a
Yeah.
fun mixture of almost like the Proud Family meets like Kim Possible. Like those are the vibes I
Mhm.
got, and I was like, I
Mhm.
love this, and I love that it's I don't even know how to describe like the art style in this because like you kind of mentioned like it has like the little emotes and everything going on. It's such a beautifully stylized show that like
It's so unique and it's bright. Like the colors are everywhere. Everything just gels so well together,
mhm,
regardless of what's happening on screen.
yes.
And it changes so much all
Yes.
the time.
It really does. And there's also a lot of like heavy anime influence throughout this and there's certain things they do and I just like die laughing when I see them because I'm like I know exactly what this is from or something. It's a lot of fun.
Did did you catch the Naruto reference
Yes.
in the one episode?
Where you like see the kid dressed
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
you see all of Team Seven like sitting in the classroom,
Yes.
like they're like cutting from classroom to classroom.
Hmm.
But they the way that they like drew them though is like perfect, freaking
It
perfect.
was great because I was like, wait a minute, was that? And then it went back again. I'm like, yes, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
It's speaking like the animation style and the colors and stuff. I think I also what's really interesting is that this show kind of gave me slight vibes to Phineas and Ferb because Phineas and Ferb is known for having like their silly musical numbers in like every single episode, but this one had
Yes,
like almost like legit songs, like awesome like
they were
rocking out
like it
songs.
was so good. Like the soundtrack to this show, like in so I need to go look into it. I don't know if a lot of it is like just music that they've borrowed that's like already been released,
Mm-hmm.
or if this is like no, like come collaborate with us and write a new song.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of it obviously is original.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is some of it sang by like the girl who actually voices?
Yeah, I was gonna say so the actress who plays Lunella, she
Hmm.
actually is a singer, I believe. I don't know too
Okay.
much about her, but yeah, so she that is her singing. I think she does possibly, if correct, like does the intro song and has yeah does actually
Hmm.
other parts throughout it. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of the music is original to it. They put so much love into the show and everything, every part of it. Like it's just really well done.
It looks like you can listen to a lot of it online right now. It looks like.
Okay.
Oh, yep, boom, there it is. Childish Gambino did a song for it,
Mm.
and like it's all just so flippin' good. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Well, and there's been some like the big name people have made cameos for like various villain, like they're playing their voices and stuff. Like Jennifer Hudson is like the villain in the fifth episode. I think that's one of the
Is it the
the
hair episode?
Yes,
The hair,
that's her.
mane.
Yeah, and then Lawrence Fishburne is pretty big main character. You know, he does a lot of
Yes.
the narration throughout, which I also love that style when it's like, now we're going to describe this villain, this quick backstory on this character.
I love the little like origin spots that you get.
Yes. And because like also saying like I think this like we're enjoying it now, like clearly we're adults, and then it's also definitely I think fits well for like that preteen age where it fits like the main character's age. It's because it's a show that it has some cheesy good fun, beautiful animation, and also some really good messages in there.
Like every episode, has that. It's a very Disney Channel-ish in that
Mm-hmm.
way, where every episode has a lesson to learn, and she uses that lesson to overcome the villain and stuff like that. But and when that happens because that's when like the musical number starts.
Yes, yes.
You gotta beat the villain to like song and dance, like and that it's also choreographed so well, like all of the action and stuff like that. Like it's so good.
Yeah, you're right. There's so much to look at when you're watching the show. So much, yeah, that you'll miss if you're not, paying attention all the time. And what you mentioned about how like, the villains aren't like really like ones people may like know, or they're like all kind of silly because it like, yeah, it really fits into that lesson. Like it's more of just like the villain of the week representing whatever the main overarching issue is in that episode. So really plays with that. It's a blast. It's just it's a feel good time. Like I feel like some of the Marvel properties, some of like the movies and stuff that have come out are kind of like they're a lot darker and down, like a lot more down than I think they had been in the past. So it's fun to see kind of, you know, this bright, colorful, feel good, fun, laugh out loud show.
It's in the because each episode goes so fast because they keep it moving. It's going. It's funny. It's also a little thought provoking. Like there's enough to like get into without being so deeply invested that you're like, man, I gotta watch this later or something.
Yeah.
Like you can just get through it and it's great. And I think there's a lot there for like the younger audience and then also for the older audiences too. Like there's humor on both wavelengths.
Yes.
So like, you know, it's a good family show when two different people can enjoy it in different ways.
Very true.
And I enjoy this purely for the Beyonder. Purely.
I don't know. I love
What a great
Lunella
character.
and Devil. They're just
Uh-huh.
they're so sweet and great. But she also has her very special friend. We should talk about that, Casey.
Casey. So I wasn't sure like if I was gonna like Casey because the way they first they show her, she's like that snotty like social media girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's gonna be like the foil, like the not friends but kind of friends foil. But then she's like, no, actually, they're going to be best friends, and
And like real best friends.
she's going
yeah.
to help Lunala like create her superhero image. And then by like episode 3, I was like, give me all the Casey all the time, please, thank you,
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh. I'm just thinking of her with her wig collection. The funerals.
The 64 different funerals. Sheba.
Yeah. What happened to Sheba?
The end of that episode made me cackle. Like, she's like, "It's okay. At least I've still got Sheba." And then like,
Flash to the
and
pot.
Lunana freaks out, and then like the pot, and the pot's like Sheba.
Yes. No, that whole episode with like the parents. Ooh, what are you making? It smells unique. I want some. No, it's my Sheba.
I made it.
Yeah.
My Sheba soup.
Yeah. Oh, but that is just something so funny too about the show because, you know, so it does have her family because she like lives with her parents and grandparents and they own, roller skating rink. So it's fun to
Which
see.
is like, what a cool thing for like this day and age. Like, when is the last time you went to a roller skating rink?
That is like elementary school, early middle school.
Yeah, right? Like, that's such an old school thing, but like, but they're cool, man.
Yeah. No, it brought me back because I was thinking that too. I'm like, are there very many roller skating rinks left? Like, do younger people go out to those? I don't know. I really sound like an old person when I just said that. But
The youths.
The youth.
Do the youths
Yeah.
roller skate?
yeah, but that part's just so fun, and I love it, and it really fits like the style of the show, and then like seeing like the glimpses of the roller skating rink, like it just that like fun retro, colorful vibe, and
And I love her family so much because like the 4 of them are like all so unique. But like the mom and dad seem still like so immature as people, you know, even though they're the mom and dad. But then you have grandma and grandpa who really are like the mature people.
yeah,
But they also have their like ridiculous not mature sides. Like and how they each like especially at the roller rink they all have their own like little individual jobs to do. And then and even Moon Girl, like she still has her own thing to do. I love how like they don't hide her intelligence at all.
Yeah.
You know, like she can be, which is good because that's comic accurate. You know, canonically she's the smartest person on Earth. She's smarter than Tony Stark or Reed Richards,
heck yes.
and she's 13. So I'm glad that they did not shy away from that aspect.
Well, I love how her parents, like, they also, like, give some really, like, deep and, like, thoughtful wisdom to her, too, and they're always supportive. Like, I mean, they realistically, like, don't know that she's Moon Girl, but, you know, there's some great life lessons in this show, too. Just some great things to think about. There's some things they say, it's just like, oh, wow, like...
Gonna apply that to my 32-year-old self right now.
Heck yes. I know, I wish there was some things some of the parents, or, like, the grandparents had said that I was like, oh my gosh, I should have written that down. But... There's also been some jokes where I'm like, I'm dying. I wish I wrote that down as well.
Seriously, they're so freaking funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really stupid, but they really catch you off guard with it, though.
Like, the stupid joke about how everybody always jokes about, like, the T-Rex, having tiny arms. Just like, I can't pick it up.
But maybe I should do the typing. You do have tiny arms. He was, like, scrambling to get that keyboard.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh, my gosh. Well, and not even just, like, talking about, like, we see her family and stuff, but, like, we also kind of get a glimpse, and, like, a lot, especially in, like, the first episode, like, more of, like, her neighborhood and the people that live there as well. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of fun.
With sense of community and well-being that they have all because they're around each other and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, clearly, listeners, we recommend this show, so you should check it out.
You don't have to binge it like we did,
no.
But,
I mean, you can.
Just watch it a little bit at a time.
Yeah. I mean, they are realistically really short episodes because they're for Disney Channel. Because, like, the first one is kind of like, it's supposed to be like an hour long, so that's why it's 40 minutes. And then all the other ones will run like 20 or so. And what's nice, I guess, if you watch on Disney Plus, you don't have to watch commercials. But they do have little slates that are like the commercial break. Like, they're like, now it's on to commercial break, which are fun because we've talked about like the music and they all have their own little like music cues on them. It's a good time. So I think I'll keep watching this show for sure.
Absolutely. Part two episode on the next 6 episodes.
We might just, yes. And I believe I read that it's already renewed for a second season as well. So I'm glad the show is off to a great start. Well, I think that will do it for this week's episode. We just wanted to kind of discuss the first 6 episodes of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And listeners, if you've checked that out, let us know. And if not, we hope that you will check the show out on Disney Channel or on Disney Plus.
Go give it a chance.
Yes.
Go give it a chance.
It's a good time. So with that, thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. Share it with a friend. Leave us a review, please. We would love to hear from you guys. Let us know what you enjoy from us, and if you want us to cover the rest of the first season of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, let us know. You can, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodDemastered. You can also send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. And once again, thanks again for listening to this week's episode, and we hope you tune in to the next one. See ya.
Peace.